like, oh God, I'm sitting there facing this situation of like, do I just like, do I train now? Do I go home now? And like, I'm now like, I'm facing the dilemma that most people face, right? Like, it's the end of the day, you can't really be bothered to go down there and go train. And you know, it's going to be evening, so there's loads of people around. It's busy, and you just kind of like talk yourself into doing it. And you're happy that you've done it, and you're happy that you do it. But it was so surreal to like really appreciate the privilege I had before.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, it's a convenient gap in my day between clients, and I get to use it to train because I'm already at the gym. And then I'll add to that, even in this evening situation, I'm making that decision whilst I'm already at the gym.
Yeah. Well, other clients, other people, they have to get
They
themselves to
have
the
to
gym
get
and
themselves,
then train.
they might even have to get on a short tube journey or
Yeah.
something to get down there. So, like, really having empathy for the the average person who doesn't work in a gym, who doesn't work in fitness, like doing a whole work day and then, coming into the gym and they haven't even maybe necessarily got a personal training session
Yeah.
booked, right?
Just has to go in and figure out what I'm going to do, when I'm going to do it. Oh my God, there's so many people on every machine.
Okay, well, that's an interesting thing that we've just mentioned then, right? So let's say we're talking to that person.
Yeah.
They work full time and they finish their day 5, 6 p.m., maybe 7 p.m., and they've got to make time for the gym in their week. What are we telling them to help them make that decision more often than, the decision to just go home or go to the pub? That's a good
It's a
question,
very
isn't
good
it?
question. Initially, like, my biggest advice to any person is the early in the day you can train or make any plans is basically where you have your prime energy. So for me, of what my clients, it's always easy to get in before work and get it done. I do appreciate some people have family and other commitments and they're not able to. If someone are able to come in the lunchtime, much easier. But now we take that out of the way. What we're gonna help the people that only come after work to go and do, it's about having a structured plan and what am I gonna do when all the machines I want to use are taken. It doesn't need to be long. It just needs to be short, sharp, with intent and purpose. And if you can plan out, so another thing what I tell to my clients I have as a busy schedule is, when are you able to go and train? Or when are you able to schedule in your time? What's often happen is they're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna train twice this week. Monday is gone, Tuesday gone, they're really tired, they've been out of a client meeting. Wednesday they're gonna have a lie-in. After Wednesday work is done, they're like, no, I'm not going in the gym. So, but if you have sit on a Saturday and Sunday and looked at the week ahead and figure out where can I train, as soon as you put it in your diary, you're much more likely to go and do it. But if it's not there, you're just telling yourself, yeah, I start next week, or I train next week. You're not gonna do it. But if it isn't in your diary, you're much more likely to go and do it.
So two actionable points there is, one, if it's at all possible, get it done earlier in the day, before work, during lunch, where you're mentally more likely to do it.
Yes.
Second, if that doesn't happen and you have to go after work, it helps a lot to just have a plan and not just turn up without a plan, because you're more likely to go there with intention and purpose, and it gives you a reason to go, rather than kind of like, well, if I go there, what am I going to do?
You're smart. That's very well said.
I'm just
I know,
literally
but it's true.
repeating what you
It's
just
true.
said there, right? That's pretty much it. And I think, yeah, because I did, I asked that question to you, and as I've asked that question to you, I'm aware like I'm probably gonna have to answer that question myself. And I don't actually, necessarily have an answer for it. So I was listening to you there as well because I
But what's quite interesting is obviously I had built my business around when I want to work. So I have all my clients 6 to 2, maybe 6 to 3 or 4, if I could put them now by a job. But my main way I built my business is I want to come in early. I want to get my session done with my people. And I want to go home. So that's how I work. Is that once in a while I will go out of my way for my clients once in a while, so they know, okay, I'm happy to help them no matter what. But I don't want to have a regular slot at 7 p.m.
for
or
sure.
6 p.m. I'm like, I want to go home, be with my family, look after myself. Therefore, it's also hard because I might be in a conversation with some people that are like, oh, I want to go and train in the afternoon or after work. It's the only time I have available. Bit selfish. That client might not be for me. It might be for you.
That's fair.
However, how can I help that person? That would be diary structure, have a strict plan or a straightforward plan you're going to use. Yeah.
Do you, I think so, like people that, let's just say we've established the time of day that they're going to train. Um, how often do you recommend somebody going to the gym?
Another good question was,
It's quite open,
it's
isn't
maybe,
it? Yeah.
okay, straightforward. If you train once a week, every week you're starting over. If you train twice a week, you're making slow progressions. If you do 3 times a week or 4, it go very fast, like rapid changing your general fitness. Obviously, a lot of people can have different training age, different strength, etc., mobility, but that's just a quick guideline of how many times you want to train. I would say if you can train 2 to 3 times a week, you're in a good space, progression week in and week out. Make sure you do progressive overload, and then you're sweet.
Yeah, I would very much agree with that. I was thinking about recently because I have clients that there's a difference between how much they train with me. I don't just consider the times that they turn up for a one-to-one session. I also consider if I've programmed them sessions to do, that they turn up and do those. I count those as them training with me.
Yeah, 100%.
So I have an app, same as you. When those individuals do that training session that I've programmed, the app then tells me that it's done. I then get to look at that training session. I then get to contact them, feedback, and say, look, how'd that go? Here's where I've got questions. And we talk about that session. That's them training with me, even though I wasn't there in person. Now, in that scenario, you're doing 2 to 3 sessions. Let's say you do one where I'm there in person, but you do the other 2 or 3 that I've programmed into that app. You're training 3 to 4 times a week. Fantastic.
Fantastic.
And we're going to see you progress quite rapidly. I've also had clients who only train with me in person. And so the ones that only train with me in person, let's say twice a week, we have made progress year on year, and then they get to a really good point. It takes longer, but there's clients that I've been training for like 5 years, let's say, on a really good place from an average of training with me twice a week. And they got there because we progressed, and then enough time has passed for them to get to a pretty impressive place. Then I can actually just say, I can think of one person that I've been training once a week, and not even once a week. No, there's 2 people, right? 2 people. And interestingly about these 2 individuals is when I look at how many sessions they actually do in a year, it's not 52 sessions a year. So they're not really doing once a week. They're doing about 40 to 45 sessions a year. So they're not even training every single week. And the only time that they do any sort of exercise or activity is that one session a week that they do with me most weeks. And yeah, in the space of 5 years, one of them did make progress because I did actually have additional sessions for her to do, and she did do them for some of the years. And then other years, like we'd got to a good place by doing that, and then she kind of dropped off a little bit and was just turning up once a week most weeks. So then progress stagnated, but we built her up to a good level. And then there's one individual, probably from the beginning till now, where it's just been an average of 40 sessions a year, most weeks once a week. And we have had small patches where he did twice a week. And during those small patches, we would see he was getting better.
Yeah.
But the only thing, like, this is someone high stress job, very high pressure role, and very, very senior, mid 40s, also has a wife and a child, right? And has family responsibilities and like tons on his plate. Just about managing to do that one session a week with me. Have we made any real progress in 5 years? Honestly, the answer is no. The only thing I can say is we haven't gone backwards because we've somehow maintained, and there is probably a mental health benefit to him doing that one session a week with me. But me as a trainer, would I love to see this person progress more?
Yes.
1,000,000%. And so would he, of course. I'm not going to say it's because this person has been lazy, or no discredit to him. I appreciate his scenario, and we'll keep trying to work hard at making it happen for him. But yeah, simply saying I'm going to do one session a week, or when people say, "Oh, I want a personal trainer, but I want a personal trainer once a month." It's just like it's not worth.
No, it's basically additional things you have to think about, but not really seeing them progress. And basically, I'm in the business of personal training to help people. Obviously, when I started, what I thought personal training would be, or why people will work with me, to how I'm now 5 years in, and it's a completely different view I have of it and who I actually want to help.
Mm,
Um, but like I also have a couple of clients that are high stress job, exactly as your person. But that thing where when they are with you, there's their time and they can switch off or they can relax. They're not stressed on them. They're literally here for look after themselves, have a chat, get stronger, and that's it. And as she says, yes, their physical progression might not have been as well as we would like as
yeah.
coaches, but compared to where would that person have been if they haven't seen you those 40 times that year? They would have been much further away from where they are now, and that is so valuable for that person, and actually also for us when we are stepping out of it, because if we are maintaining, we are helping this individual to stay sane, not getting injured, actually being a little bit more active. Yes, they're starting over every week, but that is better than regressing.
Yeah,
That's
like
amazing.
not doing anything at all, right? So
Yeah.
there's definitely power to the one session a week. It also always keeps the door open
Yeah.
for more than one session a week, right? It's just like, okay, I'm still in the game.
Yeah.
I'm still able to play. I'm not completely out of this. And they probably do get like a surge of motivation every time they do that one session with you. It's like, okay, cool, I'll try it, right? It's a reminder for them to look after their health, and they're still investing in doing so.